will often hear my clients say that the clamshell becomes too easy for them. And so there are a couple of ways to check in to make sure that you're doing it correctly so that you're really activating the outer glute the way you want to. And then there's also a way that you can up-level this move. So if you come down onto your side, remember you want to keep your torso in one relatively straight line. You can either rest on your forearm or totally fine to come down onto your upper arm, rest your head in your hand, but you still want to maintain a relatively neutral spine best you can. Try and keep your heels in line with your butt. So try not to let your heels come out in front. You still want to stay relatively open in your abs. If you're having difficulty figuring out where the back of everything is, you can slide your body to the back of the mat and keep your feet at the edge of the mat so that you know that they're relatively in line with one another. And then from here, a normal clamshell, you're just opening and closing your hip. Now, the main thing to try and keep track of is where your hip is in space. You want to make sure that your glute isn't rolling back and you're opening up your entire front. You really want to try and maintain stability through your pelvis and your abs, and then go for the squeeze of your leg up. That should really activate through your outer glute and thigh. If you need to make this harder, then number one, you can always add resistance by wrapping a resistance band around your thighs, or you can lift your top leg up, just hover your foot in space. Main thing is you want to keep your top foot in line with the bottom foot. So try not to let it rock forward or back. And then from here, you want to squeeze through that outer glute, lift your knee, and then bring it back down to that hovering position. If you want to make it harder from here, you can engage through your core a little bit more. Basically, you're going to come into a side plank position where you're lifting up and off of your hip. You're on your forearm, still try and keep your head in line with the rest of your spine. And then from here, squeeze through your outer glute to lift your knee. Again, try not to let that pelvis rock back. Try not to let it come all the way forward. You want to maintain that nice long line through your torso. And then repeat on the opposite side.